Howdy, howdy. Howdy ho, neighbor. What's up, Clint? Joe? Yo, yo, yo. It's 4 o'clock somewhere. Jason Beecher, good afternoon, sir. You guys just couldn't wait to get in here, could you? I know. Last swig of my coffee. Shit. Had a pretty good time yesterday with everybody. Barbie's channel, that was fun. Fun. Jason, Joe, Jason, Clint, Joe. Okay. Oh. Let's see. No, I want to go to top chat in there, but I do need it there. Hey, Barbie. All right. Live chat. No, hide chat. There we go. I don't know why I need to see anything. I'm looking at it anyway, but okay. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Red Raven's War Room. Got lots to talk about today. Oil being one of them. Was up to $1.17 last night. Today it leveled off at 95. Now that being said, that is a significant drop. But I took some video starting a week ago, last Monday I think it was. And right kind of before I knew what was going to happened. And gas was $2.66 a gallon. And then right behind that posting, that sign that I took a picture of, or video, is the actual City Hall's billboard that lights up and does community comments and shit, whatever. And they had a date up. So I got it time dated. And it was 226 on that certain day. And then it wasn't like 3 days later, it was up over $3. It jumped 50 cents in a couple of days. So what are y'all paying right now for regular or diesel? Depending on what you use. Kind of curious. We're paying I looked last night before I went to bed, I think it was $3.17 for regular unleaded. $4.80 for regular in Oregon. Okay. Hey, Mr. Mouse, how you doing? Hey, Red Raven, salute to you, sir. That's not actually, I think, well, no, that's pretty bad. That's about what I expected in the West Coast. $5 already. Damn near it anyway. Yeah. And we just had, right before I came on, we had air raid sirens in Israel. We may hit outside towards the eastern border. So it must have been some military or refinery or something out that way towards the West Bank or East Bank, I guess, because it was past the West Bank. So, yeah. I'm not sure how gas is here. Okay. Yeah, it's going to be changing pretty much daily. And then you're going to have your sapsuckers like up here at the corner. It's always got to be the first one to jump prices and the one that's got to be 10 to 20 cents higher than everybody else. Henry G., what's going on, brother? Red Raven, salute to you, sir. But, yeah. It's funny, too. There's a supply distribution company here in town. It's called Hackney with an H. And they supply all the certain convenience stores. And they're like 3 times higher. Like a gallon of milk, $6.50, where I can go right down here to the next gas station and buy it for $2.50, $3. You could always get a candy bar, $5. I mean, come on, man. And they're not next to a highway. They're just a store that's in the center of town. Or convenience store type thing called Market Basket. Which when I was younger, Market Basket used to be a grocery store. So I'm sure they're not affiliated because these Market Baskets are only like generally in this area from what I know. Yeah, somebody trying to get rich quick. All right, same peeps. I'm going to start off today by going through EDC items and why do we carry them? Why are they even available? Why do we like them so much? Why would we pay the prices of some of them? Stuff like that. And what I'm talking about is basically a machine dice, a machine bead, yeah? Resin knuckles, or whatever they are, bottle openers, multi-functional piece of metal, challenge coins, marine, and regular service. Put them up there so you can see them better. And then we have the individual. Oh, they're going to stay. Coins as such, or whatever you want to call them. Here's one from Rob. 10K. Little spinny thing. Interesting for sure. But once you get it, what do you do with it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, yeah, if you're a tuber or whatever. I don't consider myself a YouTuber, but whatever. What do you do with it? I mean, do you get a board, just stick it on a wall? I mean, and then you get different ones. This one's got an inlay in, or that's a hole. Does that glow in the dark? I'll tell you here in a second. No, not seeing any darkness. But theirs is 9,000. And then you have the actual poker chip style. Some with QR. Now QR cards, I can understand. Advertisement. All right, cool. There's another. How do I get? Oh, that one's got purple on it. Huh. Yeah, what's this one? Another Rob's? Jesus, Rob, how many of these things you got? And then you get another Rob. Give it to someone. Yeah, that too. Oops, how'd you not get put away? And then this one, of course, this one amazes me. I kind of like, I like the thought that went into it. Oh, this is lanyard bead. Let me put it on something here so you can get a better look. And where's the camera? There it is. Do you see what it is? Now, this is from NAF's. So, thinking of NAF's theme, can anybody tell me what it's supposed to represent? Is what I'm getting at. Shove in the drawer, yeah. Anybody have an idea what this may be? It does represent something. It is an actual object that has been duplicated to represent a part. Yeah, Mr. Mouth. It's part of a rocket. Yep. It's the bell where the flames come out, which I thought was pretty interesting. But the thing I'm getting at here, like, is this one titanium? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. It's light as hell. Magnet? Yeah. I don't think it's aluminum because it's too rigid. But things like it, we're talking like $40, 85. And this is a functional dice. It has 4. 1 is just a hole. Each slot represents, there's 5. And it's also got milling in the top, like a sunburst, on all the faces of each number. Let's see if I can get you a little closer look. So you can see the milling. There you go. Hold your hand still there, Robert. I'm reading them. Yes, Barb. Yeah, it's a rocket thing. But yeah, that was like 80 some bucks. It's either that one or this one. I think this one was 60. You guess some of you might. Oh, I guess it goes this way. Some of you might know what that is. I didn't hear it when Rob said it when I got these from him. I heard the prices because they made me hit the floor. There we go. Oh, come on. There you go. Yeah, another machine bead. Another 60 bucks. I mean, are they, from you guys' point of view, are they really that collectible, sought after, or is it just eh? Gail Bunny, what's going on? All right, Barbie wants me to show you also. We got our new stickers in today. Now, the last ones we were a little disappointed in, per se. She was supposed to bring me one of the old ones, but it didn't happen. We thought they were a little dark. And we got the new ones today. And these are real lighter, a lot lighter. But they're decent. They're good. I can dig it. We got 500 of them for 20 bucks, so I'm not going to complain. But yeah, that's the new ones we got. Of course, you got to cut. At least they're in smaller ones, smaller paper now. They come in 6 and 8 sheets. You guys think it's too? Yeah, you guys think it's too light or right? Do you have Barb? Where's the other one? Hold on a minute, guys. Let me go get another one. All right, I found one. Because we gave most of them away. Or all of them, actually. Definitely don't need it. Yeah, don't need $100 tie bead. Yeah, right. Now, I know there's the fanboys out there and the Gucci guys and everything, which aren't many. Probably 5 out of 100 of us. But, yeah, size is a little different, too. I did get them a little smaller this time because we was having problems getting them in the bags. But, yeah, see the difference? Which ones do you like better? Let me ask you that. Because next time I order them, depending on what company I use, 2 different companies. Yeah, each their own. Yeah. I'm just getting everybody's opinions. Why is that so foggy looking? What's going on here? It's not that foggy. Lighting, maybe? I don't know. Smaller one? All right. So we got one vote for the small one. Let's set them up over here. Sorry, Godzilla. Yeah, that one. Now, when I'm looking at this one in real life right now, it's almost unseeable as far as the head goes. Now, the words are fine. But now in the camera, it looks a lot lighter. But the one on the other side, told it was blonde hair instead of a brownish, blonde tint. Twisted. Did somebody say twisted? Smaller one? Okay. All right. 2 for the smaller one. Left one. All right. We got 1 for left. Now, I'm not buying double sets. So, how you feeling, Twisted? Hope you're fine. See, you haven't been with us much lately. I probably figured something may be going on or sick or something. A lot of people sick. I keep getting it, and then 2 days later, I feel good. And I get up and do something, and then I'm down for another day or two because I feel like, the flu type feelings, the body aches, the cold sweats, the fever, the upset stomach, and then that'll go on for a couple of days. Zoe, what's up, Zoe? And that part of the time of the year, I guess. I used to never get sick, never. But it's every spring. I get one good dose every spring. Hey, Mick, what's going on, brother? We're discussing at the moment which sticker, left or right, of Barbie's, because these are the new ones we just got today, which are a lot lighter than the ones we just had. And I'm just getting a poll on left or right, which is the better one of the two. Don't get colds anymore. I think could be. Could be. There's a lot of good stuff out there in natural plants. Not condoning anything, but each to their own on how they want to treat themselves. It used to be the best doctor is the patient. Now it's jump on a computer, look up some bullshit that some big conglomerate told you to do and prescribe you the shit and throw it out the door. Doctors are not what they used to be at all. Okay, Mick Ranger, a smaller one. Okay. So pretty much the census is a smaller one. Has anybody heard anything from Caleb? A few of us are trying to get a hold of him. He won't answer nobody back, so curious about him as well. Johnsons. Anybody see anything from the Johnsons in the last couple of weeks? Seen nothing from them either. Pretty much anywhere. Now that doesn't mean they're not around, but just kind of, got to look after each other. 1B or IB. I haven't been to a doctor, dentist in 20 years. Yeah, Bunny. I didn't want to either because but bad things happened and then I had no choice. I sat here, what was it, 10 years ago now? 10, 11 years ago? No, a little longer than that. About 13, 14 years ago. And for 3 days, something bad was going on. I didn't know what it was. And I was laying in bed, and finally I told Barb, I said, I got to go to the hospital. And as I was driving to the hospital, my whole left side started just bugging out on me. And here, come to find out, I was having a freaking stroke. That cost me a week in the hospital and a bunch of other shit afterwards. Yeah, they said if I wouldn't have came to the hospital within that day, I probably wouldn't have made it out. Dwayne Letterman. Good to see you, brother. Well, now that we got our usual 12 to 15 people. I'm about to lose something here. I got to switch you guys. Oh, shit. Forgot this phone wasn't charged. Switch you out here. Put some juice to it. There we go. If you're anything in the background, that's just the volume on the cameras from Beirut, Tel Aviv, and Jerusalem. They just had big air raids a minute ago before I come on. I didn't see anything hit, but according to the map that's down in the corner, they hit right outside on the eastern border of Israel. I had the flu and upper respiratory. I was saying, but really sucked. And during all that, coughing in the bed. Yep. Something in my lower back, still not right. Yeah, that's the way it started with. Well, I had an injury in the military. And they had me lay out for 3 days. But after that injury, every once in a great while, if I sat a certain way or I'm trying to explain, or the cold, like really cold got to it, my right leg would not move at all. I got even stranded in the woods deer hunting one year because of that. And, but it only happened like once, twice a year. So I really wasn't concerned. And then it started getting more frequent and more frequent. And okay, let's go take a picture and see what's up. Yeah, sure enough, all kinds of damage down there. And spinal stenosis. And I got 7 lower discs totally destroyed. 3 of them are punching into the spine. The other ones are going somewhere else. Yeah, it's just a mess down there. And it's kind of funny too, because I don't know. I guess the part that's wrong with me really isn't a active situation where I was not active, or just playing around being lazy or whatever. Because the muscles are all fine. It's just the bones are deteriorating down there for some reason, plus the injury. That could have even started the whole thing in a cycle. I don't know. Yeah, Jason, that's a good question. How's Dad, man? Yeah, upper respiratory. Yeah. Yeah, we've been going through that though all winter and spring. And right now, the pollens, everything's popping here. I mean, we've got the dogwoods full bloom. Flowers are popping. It's supposed to be like 80 degrees today. So our winter has ended. It still will snow though. It'll still try to snow one time. I guarantee it. That is having a hard time. Yeah, I hate that. Everybody I've ever known done that. And always the same thing to say. Sorry to hear that, Jason. But we're all thinking of him. So anyway, it was the back thing. Yeah, just, and then as you get older, everything gets worse. Thank God I lost all the weight. Otherwise, it'd probably even be worse. Which we still can't figure out why that happened. I haven't changed my diet one, but the only thing I have changed, I guess, would be the beer. But I didn't drink that much. It was only like one day a week, like Saturday, Friday night, or if something weird was going on, like a barbecue or a gathering of some kind, I would drink a few. But I wasn't a heavy drinker. But when I drank, I drank. So I got power drinker, maybe, I don't know. But that's the only thing that's really changed in my diet. Now I just drink liquor, which from what I gather through studies, it has the same calories as a beer. So I don't know. I know the sugars are the same, but I don't know. Somehow the doctor still can't figure out why I dropped 60, 70 pounds in a matter of like 9 to 10 months. It's just weird. I feel better that way, though. I need to get this leg taken care of, though. I do. Hey, Rachel, what's going on? Yes, definitely prayers. First time they canceled the surgery. The second time I had to cancel it, but it's getting a little worse. I've noticed when I'm out walking, it happens a lot quicker than it was. And what's basically happening is I'm not getting any blood flow to my right leg and no oxygen, so the muscles cramp up like a regular cramp, like when you wake up in the middle of the night screaming because your leg's cramped. Yeah, that's what it feels like after I walk about 200 feet. I got to stop, let the oxygen build back up my leg, then continue on. It's a pain in the ass, really. So yeah, I got to go get that unclogged. I just hate the thought of it because what happens if something breaks loose while they're doing that? And you know what I mean? Hey, Matt, what's going on? Welcome to the war room, all of you. I think I'm going to keep these till Monday. Just Mondays. The Wednesday, Friday thing wasn't working out for scheduling. and or my time as well. So I'm just going to do these on Monday. We'll just call it the Monday report. How's that? And because it really seems like nobody wants to be on Monday afternoon anyway, early afternoon. So we'll just keep it at that. Okay, let's get into the real meat of the situation here. Get my little notes out. There's a bunch of crap going on. What do I want to start with? Let's start with Cuba. All right, as we've been talking about, the 82nd Airborne has been activated. For about a week, 2 weeks now, they've been on standby. At first, we were thinking boots on the ground in Iran, but now that has shifted to possibility of invading Cuba. Maybe. Now, we're just going to start with that. There's more to it. Florida right now are drumming up charges on their dictator leaders. And what they're going to do is they're going to try a Venezuela thing, except this time I think we're going to keep it. I think it's going to become a 51, 52 state is what the thing's leading into. But right now they're in total darkness. We have had a blockade there since Venezuela. They're not getting no oil, no kind of energy whatsoever. So they're in total blackout. They have no energy. And I guess now their dictator leaders are going to be arrested and hauled off to Gitmo, or at least they won't have to leave Cuba too much. But yeah, it's going to be a mess. And right now, today, a lot of things were spoken about Cuba. Some papers are being signed as we speak to enact whatever's about to be enacted. So let's keep an eye on Cuba. Also, for you in southern Florida, be careful. You know what happens when we stick our nose in other countries and the supposed new citizens of the United States start doing stupid shit because we're doing stupid shit or whatever in their country. So be careful down that way. Also, a communique was intercepted last night by the CIA and a few other three-letter agencies, and it was a call to arms to the sleeper cells around the world, not just America. Now, as we've seen the other day, our consulate in Norway got bombed by an Iranian sleeper cell. Turkey has been droned 3 to 4 times now, one as early as today, this morning. Turkey is NATO. They're already talking about invoking the Fifth Amendment. Article 5, whatever you want to call it. Now, of course, they haven't had a meeting on it. Everybody's got to sign off on it. But Turkey's been edging to get into something anyway. So if Iran's going to drag Turkey in this, which is our next largest army, military in NATO, I don't know why, but okay, whatever. I guess they're just going to keep their terrorist type stance and just keep doing what they've been doing for the last 45 years. It's just nitpicking on everybody until they're totally exhausted, I guess. I don't know. It doesn't seem logical. Oh, and their people are uprising, of course, still. And the Kurds are armed coming in from the northeast. That's probably already happening. I'm going to officially say we have boots on the ground anyway with special forces doing missions, sabotage, stuff like that. And we sunk another ship today in Iran this morning, which puts it up to 45. And there's an oil tank also burning from India in the Strait right now. But nobody knows how it started, whether it was just an accident on the ship or if it's actually got hit. That was very fresh when I jumped on with you guys. Everything's getting ramped up in Iran. And what I mean by ramped up, I mean getting hit harder. We're moving more and more equipment over daily. More and more bombers. Also, other countries are jumping in now, not in a combat role, but more of a defensive role outside of the country. And remember I told y'all England started fussing when we went to attack them and said they weren't getting involved and they weren't helping and all this stuff. And Trump said, we don't need you anyway. Well, now they're begging to get in. Trump said, we don't need you. So, little tussle between England there. Any of you new guys that just popped in, ladies, gentlemen, I'm looking for gas prices in your area. So if you can post your local gas fuel prices, I would appreciate it. Because as I stated before y'all jumped in, oil was at $117 last night, which it was like 72, 71 before all this happened. But now it's dropped down to 95 this morning. So my current gas price is $3.17 average. Yeah, Cuba thing's got me a little worried, though, to be honest. And with that said, China and Russia have declared for Iran. And China is in the process right now of sending advisors, pallets of cash, and arms and parts to Iran. Russia's following suit, but they give what they can get because they don't have a lot left. Fubar, exactly. David, what's going on, brother? Good to see you. What's Jason got there? Is that a John Deere? No, won't let me do it. Okay. Look like a John Deere. Yeah, Cuba might just be the way it was spoken by Washington officials, not by some whacked off computer news guy. But the way it was spoken with a smile. Which made me believe right off the bat they're going to take Cuba, period. We're going to keep Cuba. Now, whether it becomes like Puerto Rico, I don't know. Or will it actually be consumed into a state? I mean, it's only 90 miles off the coast. I would have to say, other than some small islands that nobody cares about, that's probably the closest foreign country to us, besides Canada and, I don't know. Interesting. We'll be watching that one. Just ate some chicken salad and some local Amish stuff. Yeah, Amish food, dude. I miss Amish food. We used to go up to a little town. Actually, we lived in the town at one time and right outside the same town. But anyway, it's called Sugar Grove, Pennsylvania. It's about 2-3 miles off the New York State border, far western side. And the Amish would gather in this church parking lot, big old dirt church parking lot every Saturday and sell their wares and goods. And yeah, the bread, the pies, phenomenal. I do miss that. Shelby power, 11.30 per gallon over here. Oh, yeah, okay. That's right. I had to remember where you were at. Man. And that's something else they're saying, too, right now. This isn't just us that's going to get hit by this oil issue. It's pretty much global, which leads me to my next story. As I've spoken before, we've shut off Venezuela to China. We've shut off now Iran to China. China is basically 2/3 of their energy has been shut off from their hands. And as of yesterday, I was hearing a report from China that they were going to have to start rationing. Their citizens were going to have to start doing this, this, and this. Apparently, they had no reserves. So, that's cool, Fitbit. That's cool. Working's fine. So, they're not just gonna sit on their hands and let this happen. If anybody knows anything about World War II, same shit. Cut off all their energy, pissed them off. We got hit. And now with sleeper cells activated, officially activated. We knew this weeks ago, but until the official statement come out, we couldn't make it official. So, Oh, we got here messing around with my new Benchmade drop point. Cool. Oh, got Zach stuff for a crazy deal. Sweet. Yeah, Zach's a good dude, man. He take care of a good guy. I had a Benchmade or a bug out. Mo Patty ended up buying it off me for the auction that we did for Blue and Sis, but there was $300 in that thing. You could not get the blade straight. It would never line up.
Blink and get more with
No, I don't want to get more.
Plus Smart
Oh,
Security.
you're gone.
With Blink 2K Plus, get
Other than that, it's back to the price. It really is. I mean, the blades are thin. The handles. I mean, when you buy a new one for that 170, 200, I just don't get it. They would sell a lot more at 100. Just saying. I don't know. I guess they got some kind of weird tax up there in Oregon. I like the knife. I do. For just a standard lightweight knife, yeah. I like the knife. I don't like the price, and I don't like their QC. And I don't like the way they act when you QC them. You know, even Zach himself, if you've been around him enough, he'll even like, come on, Benchmade, you know? So, okay. Too many letters together. I was like, what? 763 cents a gallon. Okay, you're at 319 up there in the hills. Yeah, we're 317 down here at the bottom. So that makes a little sense. Always a little higher up that way. But I like their knives. Me and Barbie both had the little mini grips. They were nice knives. Now they lined up nice. Kind of felt cheap in the hand because of the material they use for their scales, handles, whatever the hell you want to call them. But yeah, a nice knife. They were both 20 CV blade steel, real razory sharp, and you could keep them that way pretty easy. Yeah, well, Spyderco's a little less expensive, but they did jump up like recently. They weren't as expensive a year ago as they are now. And Spyderco's kind of the same deal. The only thing is you got a range of options of stuff when it comes to their blades. So something like the one I had, the one I gave to Barbie, I have no idea what the hell that's, some number, letters. I asked. They told me what it was compared to, but, you know, a normal person buying a knife wouldn't understand the blade steel. You know, we got some gunfire. They've been having small arms fire in Beirut for months. Every once in a while, somebody will poke out a window and just, I don't even know what the hell they're shooting at. There's nobody on the ground, unless they're just shooting at anybody to cause chaos. They're trying to root out. In Beirut, if anybody's been following that, there's the same old Iranian offshoot trying to do a stronghold. I mean, we keep, every time a leader pops up, they don't last 72 hours. But they just, I don't know. Don't get it. Don't get it. If they only realize them 72 versions were men. Whatever. Ground fog. Raven, salute to you, sir. Welcome in. Nice to see y'all. Anyway, moving on. Yeah, China's not happy. And this is what one of the objectives were on Venezuela and Iran, was to take away power from China, because China was getting too big for their britches, saying some shit they shouldn't be saying. And they keep, we're trying to keep them from attacking Taiwan. And what's one way to keep the war machine down? Take away their energy. It works, because they're already scrambling. So whether they're already starting to retaliate, as I said, by giving Iran weapons to fight us. And I'm not talking arms and bullets. I'm talking big time shit. Updated systems, missiles, and like I said, pallets of cash. That was a big discussion this morning. The cash that they're giving them. Now, we all know how rich China is. Cash to them ain't shit. So, we'll see how that plays out. That's all I can say. Let's see what else we got here. And then the Iran thing we just went over. 40 ships now destroyed. And we have one tanker on fire in the Strait. Okay, let me look real quick. Oh, and Cuba also, we're not sure. The reports are, and I saw a video, so it's confirmed. There's big protest and riots going on in Cuba as well. And we're not sure who did it because there's a report that the police and government have got together, the soldiers, and are going around and torching all the government facilities and government buildings. Kind of like what's going on in Iran. The people are uprising against the communist regime. Well, the CIA's down there pushing hard. We all know that. And giving people money to start shit and probably trying to buy the police and the military as well. And now Florida's getting arrest warrants made for their leaders, like they did for Venezuela. So, yeah, within, I would say, end of April, we should probably have Cuba at the latest. Yeah, spooky. But now the Cuba thing won't be that big of a deal to piss Russia off again. But hey, Russia's been so beat down. I don't know if they're going to do a Hail Mary or just give up, or somebody's going to eventually get sick of the shit and take Putin out and close the door. I don't know. That is such a complex situation right now in Europe. It's just nuts. You could hurt yourself even thinking about it. But yeah, they're burning the government buildings down, police stations, tax offices, anything with a government symbol on. All right. Like I said, if you go to the map, Google Map, or if you have live satellite, which you can get live satellite right now, fairly cheap or free if you look around. And if you look like 2 months ago, all of Cuba's lit up at night. Now there's nothing. Unless you see a bonfire or something. Yeah, ever since we put the blockade up, they've been pretty much in the dark shortly after that. Sending another carrier group to the Middle East, so that's escalating. I forget what ship they said they were sending, what group. It's a long name. I'll look it up. I'll post it later. Yeah, if anybody is interested in any of this stuff, there's also an app you can go to. It's called Open Source Intel. And this comes right from the government. So whatever they want you to know, they'll post. The Pentagon also has one. The Pizza Index is out there too, if y'all want to check the Pizza Index. Basically, for those of you who don't know what the Pizza Index is, it's an app you go to and it shows pizza traffic in the DC area. And any time that the Pizza Index has went above 50% more pizzas ordered than normal, something big's about to happen militarily. And it is a sound, actual process. It has actually gotten so big, the government's actually referring to the Pizza Index. So, all right, y'all talking amongst yourselves. Yeah, for years I didn't like Spyderco either. Just because of looks. Wasn't really a price thing. I don't think I ever looked one up price-wise anyway. I was always stuck on my buck knives. Buck knives and Gerber for military purposes was my biggest brands that I messed with throughout the years. Case, I always had a little case pocket knife, Yeah. Clean them pew-pews. On a pew pew alert. Shit. Should have wrote it down. Something Brothers Arms. They're having like a SIG problem right now. But it's easily to fix. Their barrels aren't getting screwed in all the way at the factory and not torqued to specs, and it's causing issues. I'm sure you can find it on the internet somewhere if you have one of these rifles and you may be having ejection issues or firing issues even. What's happening is your barrel needs to be spec'd. I'll find it and post it in a post later because that could be concerning to some of you, especially if you have. And it's a well-known rifle company. It's like they're kind of like equal to Palmetto State Armory. Also, I picked up a Spyderco and from SKMW. Yeah, I got to get there. They're only right over the hill from us. I mean, like maybe 2.5 hours. Of course, it takes longer than that to walk there, but since that's all I do is walk, I'll get a ride. But it kind of bummed me out when Hunter was up there. He was doing a thing up there for a company he's involved with. Weldon Carey, for those of you who don't know what his name is. And we were supposed to go up and meet him and do the finances and a few other things going on around here. Couldn't make it. It's like Blade Show. Blade Show took a lot out of us. You know, I won't go 4 days next time. Now that I've experienced, I know what to do, how to do it in the amount of time that I need to do it in. So like if I do go or Barb does go, it'll be like Saturday morning, stay all day, hit the pit Saturday night, camp out somewhere, and then hit the show Sunday till they close and head home. We're 4 hours away from that. So there's just no way I can do 4 days again. But I'll tell you, for those of you who go to Blade Show, make sure you get to the pit Friday or Saturday night. Now, what the pit is, it's the hotel lobby, which is huge. I mean, massive. The hotel room is built in a square, and the pit is inside that square. So when you're looking up, all you see is balconies. I think it's 8 stories, 7 or 8 stories high. And then 2 outside golden elevators that move up and down. If you go to Barbie's videos, it's all in there. But in the center of this lobby is a pit that you step down into that's a bar, an open bar. Not open cash-wise, but open air bar. And then around the bar, outside the pit, you have shops and restaurants, and it's really neat. Just that alone was interesting to experience. We even took a ride up and down the elevators and filmed it. So, but yeah, get to the pit. That's where you meet people and where you can make deals for your channel, make deals for your knife company if you have one. Maybe you want a knife made. This is the place to go. But don't pressure in it too fast. And what I mean by that is, show gets over around, I think it's 4 or 5 o'clock Saturday, whatever. Go out, go get something to eat, then come back, because you don't want to pay for I think a burger was like $18 or some shit in the pit. One of them little restaurants. Go out and get something to eat, take a breather, then come back to the pit, get you a few drinks, or if you don't drink, whatever. And then find the manufacturers that are from other places that are drinking. You know what I mean? Things are more agreeable when you're happy. Uh-oh, what's going on here? Oh, okay. That was weird. Yeah, we had a really good time. We, like I said, with the people we ran into and did deals or whatever with, actually ran into us first, I guess you could say, by accident. Yeah, you got to do the pit once. The show will blow your mind, but the pit will even, I don't know. There was probably, once the Kaiser dinner let out, which is right up the next floor into a banquet area, once they let out, there had to have been 500 people. floating around there, and they're all from either companies, make knives, sell knives, YouTubers. I was kind of discouraged on how many YouTubers there was. I figured there'd be a lot. I mean, I'm finding new knife channels every day. I did not realize there was that many knife channels. Henry 3030. Yeah, sweet. Henry's a good rifle. Always has been. I always liked that take apart 22. And they've upgraded it too as well lately. I just was watching a big article on that about a year ago. Burning Stables is on. Going to show some love. Okay. They also sell Glock BB guns, but those were like $65. What is mine? Oh, mine's a Colt. Yeah. Yeah, they do. Yes, they do. Smith & Wesson. Now, the Umarex one, if I remember right, the Univex one's running around about 400 feet per second. Is that the one you got? Bunny? I have 7 Henry 22 or 22 mags. Cool. Sweet. Henry man. All right. Yeah, they sell a bunch of stuff there. Oh, I see what you're saying, Matt. All right, Matt. Probably too late now, but we'll see you. Yeah, I know. Burning Stables always comes on when I'm on. Kind of amazes me. Whatever. I like Colts. When I was in the military, that's what I got. I got actually the one I had was issued since World War II, but I could still qualify, no problems with it whatsoever. But that's what I had as a sidearm in the military was a 45 Colt. 410, yeah. See, I got the Colt version of that. It says 425 on the package, but I'm thinking more like the only thing I've ever got out was like 380 tops. You know, when you mass produce a cylinder, not each cylinder is going to be identical in pressure. So you got to compensate for that. But yeah, they hammer. I wouldn't want to get hit with one. Like say a house situation, you pap, 18 shots in somebody's face with that, they're going down. Because it goes clean through metal. Thin metal, but it goes through it. If it'll go through metal, it'll go through a face. And then that one pellet gun I got, the 10-shot Gamma, that thing's 1,300 feet per second with the right ammo. I'm using red ballistic tips right now. Now that goes clean through everything. I had a piece of plywood.
To do paperwork.
Oh,
You started because
leave
you love
me
being on
alone.
the water, not buried in booking requests, cancellations, and social posts. If only there was something out there that automated the stuff you hate.
If there was a button I could push to make you shut up. Yeah, I went through the plywood, went through my old deer target, one of them big cube styrofoam things. Went through both sides of the metal bucket, you know, them little wash tub things. Looks like a wash tub, but they're for decorations. So it's a little thinner than a wash tub. Went through both sides of that. And a piece of Lexan, not Lexan, plexiglass. Not on purpose. I wasn't trying to do it. I figured it'd stop it. I went to that to do. All the way out the back, every shot. So, yeah. Says it's 775 feet per second. And I learned. Oh, you're talking about the crossbow. Yeah. That's what gets me about crossbows. You get a 300-pound crossbow limb on these fancy crossbows they have today, and they're shooting 300 feet, 200 feet per second. So, I mean, hell, a regular bow does that. I don't know. I want to see 400 and 500 feet per second. That's what I want to see. Of course, then your arrow would probably shatter because of the sudden G-forces and everything behind that when you let the bowstring go. 454, the cheapest crossbow, but well, reviewed, $50, yeah. I wanted to get that one that the slingshot dude on YouTube made, the adder, one where you cock, and it has like 8-9 bolts in a magazine that sits on top. But once again, once I looked at the specs of it, it's only hitting like 20 pound per square inch. And I think you could get as high as 150 pound limbs, because they had 3 sets of limbs you could order with it, depending on which draw weight you wanted. But even at the high one, they were only doing like 200 and something feet per second, like 205. So I want something a little faster than that. And the range was sucky. Everybody tested it said about 50 feet was it for point blank accuracy. Now, I guess that's fine for like something in the house, but I don't know. All right, we're getting close to that hour mark. There was one thing I do want to show you. Let me make sure I got all the information out that I wanted to convey today. Okay, 95 a barrel. Let's see that. New carrier group. Yep. Oh, there's my piece of paper. China. Yeah, we did the China thing. All right. One more thing came in the mail today I want to show you guys. And to do that, I have to turn the camera around. Actually, just push a button. But let's see how it works. There we go. Got a new EDC chest rig today. Now this one's a little bit more military-ish, more tactical than the other one I showed. You got your pouch up here. Or a small plate would fit in there. Does it have a back? No, no back zipper like the other one had. And you got your main pouch. I guess you could use it for a couple mags. It's about that size, probably fit. Yeah, you get 2 mags in there, no problem, or whatever. This one here is for bottled water, basically. And then this one here is for your radio. And the radio fits right in there. Which, with the antennas I got, the flexi ones, military style, it would come up, tape up to here, and then shoot out the back. And then my earpiece from there. So I like the way that's set up. Now, once again, I'm going to tell you the secret about these. And actually, Barbie found this one. These are the same ones you can buy on Amazon. Amazon's going to charge you $30 to $40 for it because it's going to have a tag sewn somewhere on the side here that'll say blah, blah, blah company. This has no company tag, basically because it's a second. If you look on the back, you see where they're sewed onto the top. Yeah, you come out. Try that. You see how they're off sewn onto each corner, one's lower than the other? Okay, I can deal with that. That's not a problem. $4 and some change. Thick. I mean, this. So, yeah, I'm a cheap bastard. And I will find a deal anywhere. But it's the same one you're going to get off Amazon. And instead of paying that $30, $40, you're going to pay $5. Oops. I got to put the sticker back in this pack because this is actually somebody's winnings. Because we ran out of the old dark stickers. And for those of you that weren't here when I showed them, there's the new Barbie stickers. Barbie. They're a lot lighter than the old ones, as you can see there. So yeah, we got a bunch of them in today. And also, I know I'm jumping all around, but when you go to Blade Show, make sure if you have a channel to take lots of stickers. And I mean lots. You will run out. We ran out in 2 hours. I think Caleb had some, maybe 2 or 3 left the next day. But yeah, it was, and he brought a lot with him. Here, let me get this back over here. Oh yeah. I mean, it's, yeah, thick military grade. And even, you know, whatever they're using on this part, you know, to keep it rigid. We got 2 layers sewn together like a plastic piece in it as well. We got molly places to hook things, a little bit of Velcro for ranger eyes or whatever. I kind of like a little bit more Velcro, but yeah, real lightweight. I mean, it's like good for something out in the woods for like a hiking trip, something like that, or neighborhood surveillance. But yeah, I like the water bottle thing. That was cool. Yeah, I'm gonna start getting these, and like I said, once I get 300, well, now Barbie's trying to give me a different idea on that, but thanks, David. Anyway, eventually, I don't know whose channel it's going to be on, depending on what happens between now and then. But once I hit around 300 or hit 300, what I'm going to do is I'm going to get one of these. I'm not sure if it's going to be this one yet. I think I'm going to go more towards the urban and not less tactical, more urban. Like the other one I showed you. If you go back in some of my videos, you'll see the other one I have like this. Actually has a little bit more pouches, more less tactical, more EDC. But I'm going to put a radio in it. I'm going to put a lot of stuff that normally you would have in it. What else did I talk about? Oh, knife. Just a whole EDC kit and this. Plus a radio. So that's going to be once I hit 300. We'll do that one. Just finished knife, lanyard, and black and bubblegum. Interesting. Cheap crossbow, but with rude well. Okay, read that. 175, read that. I think the expensive ones are like 400. Yeah, really expensive ones. Yeah. I mean, you can get. Don't get me wrong. You can get them weird double limb, compound gears and wheels all over. Yeah, they'll do 500-600 feet per second. But you know, I don't want to go out there and buy a car to target practice or deer hunt once in a while. It just, I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. All right, ladies, gentlemen. See y'all on the lives. Probably seeing Rob's tonight anyway. And that's your Monday report. So with that said, carry on. Have a great day. Peace. Maybe.